The Great Depression, a period defined by grief, sorrow, poverty, and economic hardship. During this dark time of despair, the triumphs of the entertainment industry rose above the tragedies of the day. Movies, music, and radio provided solace to those facing terrible hardships in their daily lives. Most Americans faced the harsh realities of poverty and needed an escape from it all. They found it in entertainment. Movies of this golden age of entertainment succeeded in giving audiences the chance to live through the lives of characters and forget their troubles. Many movies had lush romantic plot lines that kept people enthralled. Movies like Gone with the Wind allowed the audience to experience the excitement of the Civil War through Clark Gable as the heroic and handsome Rhett Butler and Vivien Leigh as the flirtatious Scarlett O'Hara. Movies often depicted characters who had wealth living the American dream. This was appealing to the majority of people during this period. An example of this is the 1936 production of Swing Time with Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers.
In 1930, roughly 64% of America's population were movie customers. As a result, the movie industry began expanding the number of genres to meet the growing demand. Genres include crime, western, historical drama, domestic melodrama, romance, and comedy. As the mid-decade approached, action and adventure became another popular movie theme. In a time where most of life was filled with depression and strife, comedic movies provided people with a way to channel emotions through laughter. The Three Stooges, the Marx Brothers, Our Gang, commonly known as the Little Rascals, the Keystone Cops, and Charlie Chaplin caused audiences to forget their troubles, at least for a short while.
Audiences gloried in spectacular fantasies of high society and easy living they would never know. The zany characters of screwball comedy could afford to be screwballs, while the average American could not.
The technology of the 1930s also enhanced entertainment's possibilities as movies were finally being recorded with sound. This allowed audiences to have the full experiences of two senses instead of just one, making movies more realistic than ever. It allowed anticipation to be built up using full symphonic orchestras playing intense themes, which drove audiences to the edge of their seats. Among the movies released during this period were Dracula and Frankenstein in 1931, The Mummy in 1932, and The Invisible Man in 1933, the majority starring Boris Karloff.
Another innovation was the use of Technicolor, which brought movies to life, adding real colors to American cinemas. Among the movies benefiting from Technicolor were Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs and The Wizard of Oz. The creator of the first of these movies was Walt Disney. He was on the cutting edge in movie production by creating the first full feature-length animated film. David Kavig, a historian of the Great Depression, wrote,
Walt Disney created movies with extremely optimistic storylines that made them popular. Music of the time period focused around the issues and emotions of the Great Depression, addressing the problems and the need for emotional outlet and escape. Songwriters of the period wrote many novelty songs about the Great Depression, including Honey, Are You Making Any Money?, With Plenty of Money and You, Brother, Can You Spare a Dime?, and No More Money in the Bank. Money was a popular subject during the Great Depression.
Novelty tunes let us laugh at the hard times and became instant hits.
Broadway was another avenue for entertainment that thrived during the decade. The most popular were 42nd Street and Porgy and Bess. Musicals of this period ranged from showy, light-hearted musicals that poked fun at the problems of society with lines of dancing chorus girls in flashy outfits, to serious dramas acknowledging and addressing such issues as race and poverty. In a time when the American nation was failing its people in so many ways, patriotic songs helped create a sense of pride in its people. In 1931, America finally acknowledged a national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner. This inspiring tune, written by Francis Scott Key during the War of 1812, provided a sense of unity in a nation that seemed to be falling apart at the seams.
Another escape was through jazz. This was a style of music that combined ragtime, blues, and country, so it had a wide appeal and became the most popular genre of music in the United States at the time. It allowed musicians the freedom to improvise and dabble in different styles, and created a sound that tickled the senses. A later form of this music, called swing, was known for its popularity as a dance music, and many people held barn dances to enjoy this. This high demand for swing and jazz was also seen in record sales. In 1932, when jazz first emerged out of the Deep South, record sales totaled approximately $10 million in sales. However, by 1939, record sales had leaped to over $50 million in sales. One could also go to a club and listen to jazz, or simply listen to it on the radio.
In radio, hundreds of radio programs existed to meet the interest of almost everyone. The radio attracted roughly 30 million listeners each evening. Choices included comedy shows that had stars such as Jack Benny, Amos and Andy, and Fibber McGee. For the family, they were daytime soap operas for mom, and evening programs offered news and shows for the whole family, such as The Lone Ranger and The Shadow. Music events featured performers such as Bing Crosby, the Mills Brothers, and Guy Lombardo's orchestra. In addition, classical music made a huge comeback during this period, getting more and more airtime on radio stations. For children, there were several radio programs that offered many activities within the program. There were secret societies that the kids could join, with secret decoders, and such kept children involved with the radio show.
Kids listened to Little Orphan Annie, and Buck Rogers, who ventured all over the world, from the Orient to gangster-ridden American cities.
The radio brought the nation closer together, providing citizens with a sense of strength through numbers and unity. It also provided a reason for families to spend quality time together in the evenings and share a common experience. With the radio, the nation was linked together by invisible waves, connecting east and west, north and south, from the state of Maine all the way to California.
Radio created national crazes across America, taught Americans new ways to talk and think, and sold them products they never knew they needed. Radio brought them the world. When the stock market crashed in 1929, so much was taken from so many people. A country reveling in the last months of the Roaring Twenties found itself in a period that would become known as the Great Depression. Many people were without jobs, money, food, and shelter, with little hope for a brighter future. However, despite the tragic experiences of the 1930s, the entertainment industry allowed people to triumph over their concerns and worries and find respite from the hardships of daily life. They were given hope for a better tomorrow.